Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast.
Ozcast.
Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
Ozcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Just Podding Around. I'm your host, Reese Williams, and this is a WrestleMania 41 breakdown. Whether you're a die-hard WWE fan or just here for the highlights, we've got you covered. 2 nights of incredible action, jaw-dropping moments, and shocking returns made this event one for the history books. From dominant title defenses to shocking heel turns, this year's WrestleMania had it all. Let's jump right into the breakdown of every match from this legendary event. The first match of the show on night 1 was the World Heavyweight Championship match between Gunther and the 2025 Royal Rumble winner Jey Uso. The match kicked off with Gunther's powerhouse approach going head to head with Jey Uso's agility and heart. Gunther, the dominant reigning champion, controlled much of the early match with his heavy strikes and suplexes, but Jey's resilience and grit kept him in the fight. The crowd was split, with Uso chants running through the arena. After a hard-hitting battle, Jey Uso locked in a sleeper hold out of nowhere, forcing Gunther to tap out in a shocking upset. This moment was particularly unexpected, cementing Jey as a top-tier talent in WWE's main event scene. Next up, we've got the WWE World Tag Team Championships between the War Raiders and the New Day. The War Raiders came out looking as dominant as ever, but the New Day showed they still have plenty left in the tank. The match was a back-and-forth affair, with the War Raiders using their brute force to try and wear down the New Day. At one point, Ivar launched Kofi Kingston over the top rope with a huge powerbomb, sending the crowd into frenzy. But Kofi and Xavier's teamwork proved to be too much, with Kofi hitting the midnight hour on Ivar, securing the pinfall. The crowd went wild for the New Day's return to the top of the tag team division, and the celebration was well earned. Next up, we've got Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Jade Cargill made her highly anticipated WrestleMania return, and she didn't disappoint. Naomi brought her flair and athleticism to the match, but Cargill's raw power was on full display. Naomi attempted to build momentum with high-flying moves, but Cargill overpowered her, hitting a huge spinebuster, and then finishing Naomi off with a signature move, the Jaded. The crowd gave a mixed reaction for Cargill's win, but there's no denying her star power and dominance in this performance. Next up is the United States Championship match between LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. This match was a brutal clash of styles, with LA Knight's charisma and cocky demeanour facing off against the raw power of Jacob Fatu. Knight did his best to outsmart Fatu using his quick strikes and taunts to get under his skin. However, Fatu showed why he's a force to be reckoned with, powering out of every pin attempt and hitting a series of devastating Samoan drops and moonsaults. The match ended when Fatu delivered a jaw-dropping Samoan drop, followed by his signature moonsault, pinning LA Knight for the win and becoming the new US champion. And after the match, Haku came to ringside and congratulated Jacob on his win. Next up, we've got Rey Fenix taking on El Grande Americano. Rey Fenix was a stand-in for Rey Mysterio, who had been injured on SmackDown the night before during a 6-man tag team match. Before the match, El Grande Americano went to ringside where he went face to face with Triple H's El Hijo del Vikingo. In the pre-show, Triple H had announced that WWE had acquired Mexican Lucha Libre promotion AAA. So a number of the AAA wrestlers were ringside, including Vikingo. And in this little face-off, Vikingo kicked El Grande Americano in the head. Now this was your typical Lucha Libre type match. Although El Grande Americano did show signs of his Chad Gable shenanigans. El Grande Americano picked up the win by using the same tactic he did on a previous episode of SmackDown by putting a small piece of metal in his mask and headbutting Rey Fenix. Next up, we've got the WWE Women's Championship match between Tiffany Stratton and this year's Royal Rumble winner Charlotte Flair. This match was a showcase of two of WWE's most talented women as Charlotte Flair faced off against the rapidly rising Tiffany Stratton. The first half of the match saw Charlotte dominate with her trademark chops and suplexes, but Stratton's athleticism and agility kept her in the fight. As the match reached its climax, Stratton hit an incredible, prettiest moonsault ever from the top rope, connecting perfectly and getting the 1-2-3 for a clean pinfall victory. The victory solidified Stratton's place at the top of the women's division. And in the main event of night one, we've got the triple threat match between Roman Reigns, CM Punk, who has Paul Heyman in his corner, and Seth Rollins. In the highly anticipated main event, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins faced off in a battle for supremacy. Reigns used his brute strength to overpower both Punk and Rollins early on, while Punk and Rollins worked together to take down Tribal Chief. The match saw plenty of high spots, including Rollins hitting a frog splash on Roman and Punk, and Punk hitting a devastating GTS. But it was Rollins who ultimately secured the win after a shocking betrayal from Paul Heyman. Heyman turned on Reigns and Punk, helping Rollins hit a curb stomp on Reigns for the pinfall victory. Seth Rollins left with his head held high, and with Paul Heyman accompanying him as that he went up the ramp. Now, for night two, the card started off with the Women's World Championship Triple Threat match between Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. In one of the most anticipated women's matches in recent memory, Io Sky defended her Women's World Championship against two of the most talented women in WWE, Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair. The match started with all three women trading high-impact moves, with Sky using her speed and agility to avoid the dominant power of Ripley and Belair. The contest saw several high-flying moves from Sky, including a breathtaking moonsault from the top rope. In the end, it was Sky who capitalized on a misstep by Bianca, hitting her over the moonsault for the win to retain the title. Next up, we've got the Sin City Street fight between Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. In this brutal no-holds-barred street fight, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre gave the WWE Universe a violent spectacle. McIntyre utilised his hard-hitting style, smashing Priest with the kendo sticks, chairs, and even the steel steps. Priest fought back, showing his own sadistic side with brutal low blows and a steel chair assault. The match ended with McIntyre landing a claymore on Priest with a chair while a chair was positioned on his chest. The visual was brutal, and McIntyre standing tall after securing the pinfall victory. Next up, we've got the Intercontinental Championship Fatal 4-Way match between the champion Braun Breaker, Penta making his both of who were making their WrestleMania debut, Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio, both of the Judgment Day. This Fatal 4-Way match was a fast-paced and full of action. Braun Breaker and Finn Balor traded power and technical wrestling moves, while Penta and Dominic Mysterio showcased their high-flying skills. The match took a dramatic turn when Dominic hit a signature frog splash on Finn Balor, pinning him for the win, and there was plenty of interference by Carlito. The WWE Universe was shocked as Mysterio captured the Intercontinental Championship in what was considered an upset. Next up, we've got Logan Paul vs AJ Styles. Logan Paul continued his WWE career by facing AJ Styles in a one-on-one bout. The match started with Styles controlling the pace with his technical expertise, but Paul showed off his own athleticism with some surprising high spots. The match went back and forth, with Styles hitting a Pele cake and Paul countering with a devastating pulverizer for the win. The crowd gave mixed reactions to Paul's victory, but he continues to prove his worth in the WWE ring. Next up, we've got the Women's Tag Team Championship match between Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day against Lyra Valkyria and the returning Becky Lynch. Now, during the pre-show of Night 1, it was revealed that Bayley had gotten attacked. Not sure who by, but we got fingers pointing towards the Judgment Day. Adam Pearce told Lyra that she had 24 hours to find a new partner, and it wasn't revealed until Becky Lynch made her entrance into the ring. In a high-stakes women's tag match, Becky Lynch teamed with Lyra Valkyria to take on the dominant duo of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. The match featured some hard-hitting action, with Raquel showing off her power and Liv using her agility to bypass everything. The ending came when Becky Lynch hit the manhandle slam on Liv, pinning her for the victory. Becky and Lyra celebrated capturing the Women's Tag Team Championships. Next up, we've got Randy Orton's Open Challenge. Randy Orton was initially set to take on Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens came out on an episode of SmackDown saying that he required neck surgery sooner rather than later, and opted to get that neck surgery, so he was pulled out of WrestleMania. Randy Orton then issued an open challenge stating he still wanted to have that WrestleMania match. And Joe Hendry, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, answered, surprising everyone with his WrestleMania debut. Hendry showed he was no slouch, getting in some impressive offense, but Orton proved why he's legend, catching Hendry with an RKO out of nowhere to secure the victory. The match was still 3 minutes and 10 seconds long or something. And in the main event of the whole show, we've got the undisputed WWE Championship between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. In a shocking main event, John Cena challenged Cody Rhodes for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cena had been absent from the title picture for some time and had turned heel just after winning the Elimination Chamber match earlier this year. After a back and forth contest, Cena would get some help from Travis Scott towards the end of the match, and who would help him secure the pinfall victory over the champ Rhodes. The win gave Cena his 17th world title, making him the most decorated champion in WWE history, and finally ending the deadlock between himself and Ric Flair. The crowd was left stunned seeing Cena win, and he was then serenaded with boos and a bit of a mixed reaction from the fans. So all in all, what an epic weekend. WrestleMania 41 was loaded with surprises, huge victories, and unforgettable moments. From Jey Uso's massive upset to John Cena's title win and finally ending that deadlock, this event was a roller coaster of emotions. What was your favourite match or moment from the weekend? Let us know on social media, and don't forget to stay tuned for more breakdowns, updates, and wrestling news here on Just Putting Around.
Are you a podcaster? Maybe you've got that big idea and you're looking for a network to join. The multi-award-winning Ozcast Network can get your content to eyes and ears all over the world. Join now for the first month free, and you could be featuring this sound at the beginning of your podcast. Ozcast. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.